Fabulous. Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good welcome, good night, no matter where you are in the world. Welcome, everyone. It's me again, Jennifer Beaumont-Whyte, with the BU interview on the Live Authentic Facebook group. And today we have a wonderful guest, Cordelia Gaffar. I've just had my lunch, so forgive me if I'm just trying to swallow that as well as organize myself here. So if you can see our broadcast, please say hi. Let us know where you're seeing us from. Make a comment, say where you're from, say if you can hear us properly, and share and like and love as much as you can. To help us get this broadcast out to as many people as possible, because today's guest is wonderful. She's amazing. She is an incredible woman. Before we get to speak to her and tell you how wonderful and let you see how wonderful she is, I just want to remind you that this broadcast is going to be going out on Thursdays from tomorrow, because I've got another one for lined up for tomorrow. So I'm going to be doing them every Thursday. And every Wednesday in the group, we're going to be doing Welcome Wednesdays, where I welcome new members into the group. So, and also the Live Authentic group. Oh, hello, darling. Hello. As you can see, Cordelia is a really busy mum, and she keeps calm in the whole chaos, and that's her thing. It's all about from chaos to calm for busy mothers. And we're going to be getting into her story in just shortly. So the Live Authentic group, as this broadcast is being, in the post, is for creative, inspired entrepreneurs who want to learn, live, laugh, love, and leave a legacy for humanity, for the children, and for the world. And this is a place where you find support, information, coaching, training, tips, on creating a lifestyle that supports your business and celebrates your life purpose, just by being you and being the authentic you that you are, because we're all magical, we're all inspirational, we've all got gifts to share with humanity, and this group is hopefully going to be attracting like-minded people like yourselves who are watching to share the love around the world, because we believe that business owners are the ones that are going to be making a difference in the world, more than politicians and more than religious leaders. We on the ground can actually make an impact and make a real difference in people's lives and the world. So if you know of anybody you want to join the group, and let's make this a really vibrant group, sharing our gifts, sharing our ideas, and sharing our inspiration, and helping each other. And if you actually feel like doing a live within the group your own self, you're quite welcome to do that. Just hook up and just share your wisdom and share your inspiration as well. Okay, so today's guest, Cordelia, we actually did an interview with me on her platform last week, which was really interesting. She's such a calming influence against my madness. And we've got a project coming up that we're going to be doing for next year, that's going to be bringing women together to help to recharge, reboot, revisit, and re-energize business owners who really want to raise their game. So we're putting that together, and we've been a really good sort of foil for each other. She's calm, grounded, beautiful, intellectual, just like, and me, I'm just like all over the place, energizing, uplifting, inspiring people. So between the two of us, we're gonna do something amazing. So just to introduce Cordelia, she's the founder of Chaos to Calm for Super Mums, for the Super Mums Facebook group. She's a presenter of her own Replenish Me Radio show, and that's where she shows and she's all about showing busy mums how to build systems of self-nurturing through her online courses and her and the Chaos Calm Facebook group. And that's, I think, how we met. I'm not sure if it's that or through GTEx. I think we met through GTEx or something along the line, but we just sort of hit off straight away. And, we've been like friends ever since. I just can't wait to meet you. Now, Cordelia's in Washington, D.C. She's a speaker, she's an author, she's a course creator, she's a coach, and she's just one phenomenal woman. Now, she is, I think, you know what, she's got a story to tell. So let's get into the questioning, and maybe stop me from waffling on as well. So Cordelia, my darling, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you could just maybe outline just a little bit about what you do, for who, and your story. How did you actually get into doing what you're doing? Because I know you were an accountant for 16 years, but what happened during that time, and how did you progress out of your accountancy work?
Right. So thank you so much for having me on the show. It's really an honor, and it's been a pleasure knowing you and meeting you. For those of you who may be wondering, this is my co-host most often. And her name is already said hello. So I created this system of self-nurturing because. Okay.
Hello.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Fantastic. Okay, so this is what happens when you are a busy mom and you homeschool your children and you run your business from home as well, and you actually make everything work because you have to. And I think she's just a phenomenal person, because actually she's not the first person that I've met who homeschools their children and actually runs a business from home as well. And it works really well for everyone. Everybody wins in that situation, because you get control of your children's education and you get control of your business as well. And as women, I think we're really good at multitasking anyway. So we tend to be able to manage the whole lot, make the income come in, make a difference, make an impact, and handle our children and the household at the same time. So while Cordelia's seeing to her co-host, I'll just run through some more bits and pieces about Cordelia herself. Now she has 6 children. That's incredible, and she's not, she just keeps calm. I just think this crazy, just having the 6 children, because I'm one of 5, and I was my mother's help, and I know how difficult it is to actually look after my siblings, and for my mom to be going out to work and looking after all of us as well. I think I was a saving grace to be helping my mom. So anyway, Cordelia's back. So Cordelia.
So,
yeah.
Part of what I'm doing is I transitioned from working outside the home to working inside the home for a number of reasons. But the main reason is I wanted to be the one to raise my children myself. And in that process, I chose to homeschool. So I have 6 children, and they're with me all the time. And I think that's good for them, because they get to see me building a business and taking care of myself at the same time. So the story goes, about 16 years ago, I was working as a full-time accountant, and I had, my older child, she was 2. And then when I fell pregnant with my son, I had a lot of complications, so I had 2 miscarriages, finally became pregnant with him. And after that, I had postpartum depression, and I had gained an extraordinary amount of weight. Like, I guess in the UK, it would be, 3 or 4 stone I had gained.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It would be 3 stone. I don't think 4, it's 3. Anyway, so anyway, it was a lot for me. I'd never gained that much in my life. And I was really out of control. So I had to find a way to first and foremost just be happy and present for my small children, right? And then second of all, being an accountant, it was a very stressful job, and I had really let that run me. And so I needed to come back to calm for that. So what I did was, it wasn't easy, to just do it with mindset, but I knew that there were ways that I can control my mood with food. So I searched good mood food. That was the first thing. I love
that. Good mood food.
So, I mean, if you've ever heard me on a live, you've heard me say that I help women to build a system of self-nurturing to nourish with wholesome food, energize with movement, and reframe their perspective with sweet talk. So the next part was, you have small kids, and most moms are always tired. And especially in my case, when I was extremely overweight, of course, I was drained quite easily. So I also found ways to have more energy. And basically I found, okay, so being overweight is not a bad thing because fat is energy, right? So I figured out how to burn it. I was like unstoppable. And every time there was a challenge, right? Because small babies, like newborns, they have something that, it's difficult sometimes. Like in my son's case, he was high maintenance. He wouldn't sleep, and all those things. So I had to, in a moment, decide what is really important here, because up until that point, I was all about making sure the house was clean, having stuff on time and all this, and laundry folded. And I said, you know what? Leave it. Just let it be. It will happen when it needs to happen. As long as we have exactly what we need, that's really, that's important. So that helped me to release a lot. And, that was like 16 years ago. And it's just been like rinse and repeat. 4 more children later. The same thing, no sweat, So I found that there was a pattern to what I was doing. Women in my community asked me about it. And so, I would share my formula and they're like, wow, that's a lot. You really need to put that in a book. 3 years ago, I finally did that. And, and I decided I'm going to start helping people and make a business.
Fantastic. So well done you. I mean, discovering that you've got something to share, like from your own experience, what you've been through. I think that's how, modern day business owners, especially with the internet and the social media and the technology that we have, we can actually create something out of our own experience to help other people and broadcast it far and wide, more than, that we would in a local, through maybe working in a business or working in a store or anywhere like, your own community. Having a book. I was talking to one of my guests on my Believe in Business show, and she was saying that her book has gone to places where nobody else, where she has never been, her feet have never touched, she's never seen, but her book, she herself, her experience has gone to help someone somewhere that she's never been to, and well done for you, getting your book and getting the course out there as well. So what sort of things are your challenges? I mean, yes, I know the I think we all know that, putting your family first and the housework second, putting yourself above everything else, put the oxygen mask on your own self before you give it to someone else is paramount. But what sort of tips can you sort of give to other mums who aren't maybe getting that quite right, and they're in a bit of a tiz and they're not as calm as you? So maybe 2 or 3, a few tips that you can actually give to mums to help them.
I actually have a formula called CALM. It's an acronym. So C stands for collect information, which basically is a period where you're journaling your behaviors, or journaling things about yourself. One main thing that's really important is to recognize that we have different seasons, and it may not necessarily be, like winter, spring, fall, and summer. It may be like February to, March. You have a certain period where your body behaves a certain way, or you sleep a certain way, and recognizing what works in that period. As far as food, as far as exercise, do you need more of something? Then once you've collected that information, you can really only observe yourself maybe for like 3 to 5 days. We kind of lose attention pretty quickly. Right? So I'm not saying like for 6 months or anything. It's just like for a couple of days, just watch what's going on.
Yeah.
Then you take action. Okay, I'm noticing that I feel really angry and cranky all the time. And I'm also noticing that I'm sleeping 3 hours and eating lots of sugar, right? And eating, lots of tea or lots of coffee. Well, then you can take action by, experimenting with, I would recommend, weaning yourself off the sugar first. But if it's easier for you, wean yourself off the caffeine, right? And definitely increase your sleeping by 15 minutes every night. Right. So that would be an example of how to take action. Then the next one, the L, stands for linger. So, sometimes we try something and, it's not going according to our plan. I'm not going to use the word we're not successful or that we failed, but it's not going according to the way we would like it to go. So we have to give it pause and say, okay, maybe we'll restart again and, come up with another plan. Maybe this, maybe the way to get off of sugar and caffeine and sleep better is to just simply pick up pick up an exercise routine. Maybe I need to walk 15 minutes a day, and so try with that. And it would seem that you're really doing nothing, right? But the effects of just implementing some movement in your day, right, will, by default, you will have more energy. So you're going to drink less coffee and you're not going to need as much sugar, right? Because the sugar is for the quick energy boost. And then you'll be thirsty. You'll drink water, right? And you'll probably sleep better. But it seems like you're not doing anything at all, right? It's so simple. But we don't give ourselves that chance to just pause and be, And the M is, by going through these steps, you just manifest what you really, really want. So think very clearly on what you want your outcome to be and make it simple. Don't make a laundry list. Just pick the 3 top things. Like in a perfect world, what are the 3 top outcomes you would like? And that's pretty much it. Hi, Deborah. How are you?
I've been talking. I don't know if you've been hearing me, but I kept going. So yeah, you were talking about the lingering side of things. I don't know where you got to in the break in the broadcast.
Okay, so you just let yourself be, and then the M stands for manifest, right? So take in the lingering period, take a good look at what you really want your outcome to be. Don't make a laundry list. Just pick the top 3 things that you would like to be your outcomes. In a perfect world, I'd like to sleep, 5 or 6 straight hours at night. In a perfect world, I'd like to, drink more water instead of tea or coffee. In a perfect world, I'd like to lose a stone, right? Just to start, right? And then you manifest it through doing steps 1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah. So that's really, really simple, really easy, and it's not rocket science. It's just do 1, 2, 3, and 4, and rinse and repeat, which is really, really key. And in here, I was just about to say, in terms of the lingering and pausing to restart, is do you recommend any kind of meditation and reflection within all of that, within the lingering?
Right. So in the pause, again, it is.
I think she's gone again.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay. So while we get Cordelia back, I was just about to say about meditation in terms of lingering, because I find that taking time out just to clear the mind and give to stop the monkey mind, stop the monkey chatter, really, really does help in terms of the lingering side of things as well. Okay, so while Cordelia's coming back, if anybody's wanting to make a comment, if they want to join us on the show as well, there is a link in the Facebook group Live Authentic for you to actually click on there, and you'll be able to come into the lobby. I can see you, and then I can get you into the group, into the chat as well, so you can actually ask Cordelia some questions or myself some questions. So look for go to the Live Authentic Facebook group itself, scroll down, and you'll see the link to join us. And if you're just watching, please share some love, give us lots of likes, and invite your friends in to come in and have a chat with us as well. So yeah, I don't know if Cordelia's back yet.
You hear me?
Nope, she's still gone.
No, hear me?
So this is one of those days. And you know what? I'm not expecting anything different because Mercury is in retrograde. Mercury is the planet of communication, the winged messenger. And the planet actually appears to be looking as if it's going backwards in the sky at the moment. And then what happens is during the period of Mercury in retrograde, communications, because that's what he stands for, communications tends to go all square, like it goes all you can see me, but I can't see. Yeah, you're not moving, so I don't know what's happening. If you can turn off the camera and then come back in again, that normally clears it, and then I can bring you back in. So yeah, so Cordelia, Mercury in retrograde, while we get Cordelia back. Are you back, my darling?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, hey. I was just waffling on about Mercury being in retrograde and how during that period of time, everything goes, tits up with written communication, verbal communication, IT, Wi-Fi, travel, driving, routes to getting from one place to another. And it really is true. We all have some kind of challenge when Mercury is in retrograde. And I take it as a time for reflection, sitting back, allowing the mishap to sort itself out, and then we can go forward again, because you just can't do anything apart from waffle on about Mercury in retrograde, which is what I'm doing right now. So if anybody's watching, please, if you'd like to join us, it would be so cool to have some guests come on board and ask Cordelia some questions. So going back to your calm process, normally, is this something that people can get involved with you, or is it on a course, or how do people access this calm system?
So there's a couple of ways. First and foremost, I do one-on-one coaching, and you can schedule an appointment to see if we're a good fit by going to bit.ly/calm, capital T and capital. And secondly, if it's easier for you to consume information, just, do it yourself. I actually have a course called Chaos to Calm. And you can access that by going to my website, which is workoutaroundmyday.com. And the course basically takes you, it's a 10-step process in this case. It's a 10-week course where you really drilling down. I gave you, of course, the high-level summary with the 4 steps, but it really drilled down on the C, collecting that information and acknowledging what's going on with you and how it manifests in your behaviors. And then, it really goes in detail with each of the 4 steps. So, and at the end of that, if you still find that you need to, connect with me directly, I'm always available for, like I said, one-on-one coaching.
Fabulous. I'm actually trying to get this the website link on the screen, but as I said, Mercury's not playing with me today, so I can't get anybody's any of the. Oh, there it is. Okay, so let's see. What does that one say? Oh, so that's the thing for the show. Let me see if I can get your website up. Let's see what happens. Nope, it's not doing that one. Okay, but your information, it's actually running slow.
I see that.
So, okay, so let's clear that one. So what I'll do is I'll put all the links in the comments afterwards once the broadcast is done anyway. So I'll put them in the post so that people can see. Okay, so hide that one. Right, now try and put this one up here. I'm just going to click on it and just wait for something to happen anyway. So that's cool. Okay, so you have your courses. People can talk to you one-to-one, and they can work on their own or they can work with you, which is absolutely brilliant. So and you're saying that it's about a 10-week course people can go through with you and online as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. So I think 10 weeks is quite a good lengthy enough of time for new habits to start getting into place, so you can iron out the little things that aren't going quite right. And you don't beat yourself up if they're not going right. You just you linger, pause, and restart. Because that's what when I'm coaching with my clients, I always say to them, when I'm holding you accountable and holding the space for you, it's not about when you set your task and everything, it's not about beating you up when you haven't done it, like a school mom or a school teacher. It's about examining exactly what's going on for you. Maybe you didn't like to do that. Maybe it wasn't convenient. Maybe something inside you needs to come out more, or you need to reflect more and really decide whether or not you actually want to do this thing in this way. So I suspect that that's what you do with your clients as well. Really sort of examine what works for them.
Yes, absolutely. And, there's along the way, there are very small 1 to 2 minute tips to take care of yourself a little bit every day. A lot of times people think that self-nurturing is, making sure that you schedule a spa day or getting your nails done or your hair done. But it can be very simple as actually waking up in the morning, looking in the mirror before putting on the makeup and saying, I love you.
Oh, that is so cool. That is, I mean, when I started doing that sort of thing in the morning, that just gave my whole body like a, lifted the tension. When you get up, you think, oh my God, I've got to get going and walk the dog and get the kids ready for school and everything. And then when I started looking at the mirror and doing that, something similar, I love you, you're wonderful. And it just calmed everything down and I could face the day, just that simple little thing. That was just incredible. Yeah, it is incredible. So could you just tell us a little bit about how you're managing your business? Because this is what I'm really curious about, and I think a lot of people be curious about with your 6 children, hubby. You don't have any animals?
Not at the moment. We for years we had lots of pets, but we don't now.
Oh wow.
So, again, it's pretty simple. I start my day quite early, I guess, because I go to bed early, and so I usually have like an hour or two to myself in the morning to exercise, meditate, love myself up. And then my husband gets up for work, and, we'll usually have breakfast together. And once he's off, that's usually when the first crew comes through, the baby crew, I call them. So, and I spend time with them, and I have breakfast with them, and just see how they're doing, and get them started on their lessons or whatever. And in that case, we really just playing games, because my baby are 3 and 7, and then my 10-year-old, he has his actual own projects that he does. We just kind of have. And he usually starts before the other two, so we have our check-in from the day before.
Right.
And then and then I get started, once they're all settled, then I get started on my actual work for my business. I'll have my clients a couple of days a week. And the other days, so for my actual content, right? So on the weekend, that's when I record my videos for my YouTube channel. And that's really the same thing, you'll see I repurpose a lot, for one thing. And that And the next thing is, I have 1 day a week that I record for my radio show, and which doubles as also interviews on my YouTube channel. So, and then, later in the morning, the older kids wake up, and then, I assign them to one of the younger kids. We all get together at lunchtime, right, and reconnect. And, we'll maybe do something together. And then a couple of days a week, I don't even work in the afternoon at all, So there's some set days that I work in the mornings, and some set days I only work in the evenings. So, yeah.
So everything that you're doing is absolutely timed. You have fixed times for everything, and you keep everything focused. So that's brilliant. So in terms of the homeschooling, are you given work by the authorities, like the school authorities, or you just do what you do?
Right. So I've been homeschooling like 14 years. My oldest will be 18 this year. So it's kind of rinse and repeat, right? It's the same. I built the curriculum many, many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I have kids with different learning styles, right? So I have some kids that are very regimented, and I have to give them like proper lesson plans. And then I have kids that are project oriented, and they just have an outline for their project and milestones to reach, and then I have kids that are very hands-on, and we have to do a lot of things together and have activities with other groups and stuff. In all cases, we always go on field trips at least once or twice a week.
Oh, wow.
And then above and beyond that, if I can, when I travel for my business, those are field trips as well, right? Because homeschooling, I feel, is a misnomer, because really, like, the whole world is your classroom.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
When I travel, they travel and they get to see the world, and that's how they learn,
That's incredible. That's incredible. I know there's several people who, I mean, you've got homeschooling clubs and groups as well, so that children don't actually miss out on anything.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So you'd recommend homeschooling for everybody, would you, or is it not for everybody?
It's not for everybody. Everybody, I'm a time blocker. I'm a outside the box thinker. I don't, I'm pretty flexible as far as parenting goes as well. As you can see, I don't wake up my kids at a certain time. I kind of let them work on their body clocks, right? And let them learn how to honor their body and their system. I honor the way they think, the way they learn. And quite honestly, my kids are pretty bored with their peers, because they usually like to hang out with adults or, people where they can have stimulating conversation. So we do some of the, like homeschooling activity groups, but it gets really old for them easily, because a lot of those groups, it's like they're more like school at home, whereas we're more like, we kind of
you go out, the school is the world. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I've always believed that that we should be more, especially when we're young, we should be exploring the world until we're like, okay, so I'm ready to learn something now. And then even if that's 12, 13, 14, it's like, okay, well, I'm ready to start learning geography now. I think I'm going to choose geography. I'm going to do that. Or I'm not, I want to go to work at 14. So let me go to work and see what happens. And then when I've had enough of work, I might want to go and study. So we should be doing our own thing in our own way when we're ready for it, because everybody seems to be pushed through this sausage machine. You go in one way and you come out the other way. And some people don't even fit. They're just really not ready for school when school is happening. And when when they're like working, that's the time they're ready for education and schooling, and it's already been like given to them, and they feel like failures because they're not being nurtured in the education way. And it's like, well, I haven't met the criteria, I'm stupid, I'm daft, and I can only do a menial job. So therefore, but a lot of these people are really, really creative, and their creativity hasn't been touched on, and then they go off and do something creative a bit later on, where they really don't need. Brilliant. So, so on your journey, has there been any sort of real knockbacks that you think to yourself, listen, I wish I hadn't started this journey of being self-employed and being a business owner? And if there were, how did you manage to turn that around?
Yeah, I have one of them every week.
Okay, I think that's normal. I think that's most business owners, entrepreneurs have something, even if not once a week, at least once a day. There's something you think, oh my God, I've had enough.
Yeah, so I just, get up and knock and dust off. It's just like, the same process that I recommend, and I try to.
I think we've lost Cordelia again.
The same process. Have you lost?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're back. Yeah.
So
yeah, just start that sentence again.
The same process that I offer to my clients is the same one I use myself. Did you hear me? No.
Okay, so we've talked about. Okay, I think I'm lost again. Yeah, I think I'm back now myself. So, okay, so while Cordelia comes back as well, and Mercury's playing with us again, maybe you want to hear about what I do. So if you want to work with me one-to-one, what I help my clients do is to achieve your most wanted desires for your life and your business. So if you're having any challenges, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you've reached a plateau, you've been in business for a while, and you think, okay, well, you know what, I need to move up, and I'm not sure of the steps going forward. I'm in a bit of an overwhelm. I am feeling stuck. I'm not sure where to go. Or you're feeling like, there's some kind of internal block going on. What I do with my clients is I use EFT, emotional freedom technique, the tapping technique, to clear all the stuck energy, the stuck negative emotions, to help you to see clearly, to have that clarity, to take the next step and start planning going forward, to take the actions, to have a really amazing life and see shine in the world, because the world needs what you've got to offer. There's something special. Just as I was saying at the beginning of the show, there's something special that you have. The world needs the experiences you've been through, the downs you've been through, the knockbacks you've been through, the learning, the skills, everything that you need, that you've been through. Somebody, and you've sort of overcome them. Somebody needs that story. Somebody needs your help. Somebody needs your product or service to help them to move from where they are and touch their lives and give them loads of love and cherish them and just love and compassion and touch their lives and help them to make the world a better place as well. So I tend to work on your vision, your mindset, your skill set and strategy, and your emotional energy. And if you want to have a Dharma alignment session with me, it's normally about 30 to 45-minute session where we go through all of those 5 things. And you leave the session with a 10-day plan going forward. It's completely free. I would normally charge about £97 to £100 for that particular session. But if you're watching this and you really want to work with me, you really want to have a chat with me to see if we can get some clarity about going forward, then have this session with me. You'll leave with a 10-day plan of action, and that will help you to move from being stuck where you are right now to being totally irresistible. People will be, clamoring to be by your side and to be in your light and, want to be with you. So you can email me at jbw@jenniferbeaumont-white.com. I'm going to put that in the screen on the screen in a minute when I get a minute. And you can go to my website, which is the same as jenniferbeaumont-white.com, and you'll see my blogs. You see a way of booking in with me on my diary as well, and you'll be able to. Oh, hang on a minute, she's back. Sorry, I'm there waffling. Yeah, you'll be able to see ways of contacting me, to be able to talk to me and work with me as well. So you must have been back for ages, and I've been going on and on and on. So sorry. Okay, my darling. So we were talking about the challenges that you've had, apart from this particular one, with trying to keep connected with this program, with broadcast. Can you just name one of the really bad challenges you've had and you thought, okay, I've really got to lift myself out of this? And what kind of mindset did you have to sort of shift that to move forward?
Right. So I guess the most challenging one is, when you have when I've had events scheduled that I'm really looking forward to, and then like this past one, it snowed, and it had already been rescheduled once.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was really going into a funk. I was like, you know what, maybe it's just not meant to be. And then I thought, wait a minute, all these women are in the same Facebook group. Why don't I ask the owner if I can just do a live in there? And she was like, oh, that's perfect, because we're all stuck at home anyway. There it was. We had the event. Of course, it wasn't interactive like I would have liked, but I mean, to some extent, right? They can type in what they're doing and everything, and it was kind of, different for me because it's my moving from chaos to calm, which is an actual movement workshop. So I didn't see anybody moving, but they got to see me moving. So it was kind of like, when you're a kid and you're the center of attention. So it was nice. It was fun. And it lifted my spirits because I was thinking, I was really starting to think, this wasn't meant to be. And, I don't know why I keep scheduling these things when the weather is unpredictable. I mean, like for about a good 2 minutes, I was like really down in the dumps, and I was like, "Woo, okay,
yeah,
welcome to technology. We're like in the 21st century."
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
yeah. No, things like that can happen. I think I'm frozen now as well. Yep.
No, you're there. Yeah. I can see you.
I'm there. Yeah, I started moving again. So yeah. So yes, yeah. I think as when women lifting each other up is so key. It's like, when you're doing it on your own, you can really get down. You can really sort of think that you're the only one that it's happening to. But when you get into a group, when we corral, when we come together and we can raise each other, that's so key. And it's so easy. It's just so easy. You can see each other's light. You can say, hey, girlfriend, you're doing fine. And if you're bringing the light as well to these other women, it lifts you up because you feel that, hey, I'm making a contribution here as well. Yeah. So yeah, it cuts both ways. So that's fantastic. So have you got anything coming up that you want to share with the group, with the audience?
I'm actually really excited about my latest project. This is something coming up later this year, but so my training is twofold. I have the sports nutrition. I'm certified in sports nutrition, but I also have studied for the past 16 years holistic traditional herbal medicine. And, so I have this holistic cultural tour planned for Egypt. And if you're interested, you can,
wow.
Yeah. So we'll actually be going to Egypt so you can see like the traditional way that the herbs are used and, collected, the essential oils and all those things. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Right. I've just put it on the screen. Is that the link for it?
That's the link to
the holistic tour. Yeah, that sounds amazing. So how long is that? A week is that?
It's 10 days.
10 days. Wow. Yeah.
And of course, I call it a cultural tour because a portion of you can't go to Egypt and not see the sights, right? So
absolutely.
So a couple of days are dedicated just to like touring, But the meat of it, there'll be 2 or 3 workshops. One specific to herbs and essential oils, and one just on with an actual local chef, and then I'll be doing one on my own. Yeah,
that's incredible. So what was going to ask about that? The when is that again? When is that happening?
Right, so it's in December 15th through the 25th for 10 days, and so it's Giza, Cairo, and Alexandria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And is there the cost of that? Is that put up there? How do people get involved if they want to come on board?
So you can join the Facebook group. I'm actually going to do a live in the group right after this. So you want to be in the group to catch that. And so we are taking deposits right away. And it's a minimum $500 deposit, I guess £500 deposit. And but the total cost it's really affordable. It's $2,500. And
wow.
yeah, and then over what is not included is your airfare from whatever country you're coming from. And
Wow.
if you have to pay visa from whatever country you're coming from. But like accommodations, 5-star accommodations are included, food, workshops, sightseeing, everything, transportation, everything's included.
Wow, that's excellent. That is really excellent value, especially at that time of year as well.
Yes.
It's like, wow, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So everybody comes back on our Christmas Day then, the 25th of December.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Hopefully we'll be able to get back in the country if it hasn't snowed. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. So fantastic. So is there anything else you've got coming up, or have you got any kind of special offer that you want to give our audience as well?
Like I said, just join the Facebook group, and we are taking deposits right away. Usually the person that I'm working with who does the tours, Ahmed, he's local in Egypt, and he's put everything together, great itinerary. He usually collects $1,000 deposit, but I told him, I want to just offer something special. So he says, okay, we can, for anyone that signs up straight away, we can just take $500. And that will secure their spot. So that's
yeah. And then there's plenty of time in the year to actually get the other monies together. That's incredible. And will they need anything special on top of, would they need to bring anything for the workshops?
Nope. Everything's
good. That's it.
There, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Well, if I don't meet you before then, hopefully I'll meet you then at that time, because I'm heading out to California at this end of the year, and hopefully I'll be able to meet you there as well, and then meet you again in December. And we have a plan for early next year for our retreat. Yeah, our I forgot the name of the retreat.
That's the thing of it, right? So
we'll have to. Yeah, I think it's a working title of the ultimate transformational retreat at the moment, which is incorporating body, mind, soul, food, exercise, the whole of you, rejuvenating the whole of you, ready to be an amazing business owner, going back into your business to make a difference in the world. So yeah, so that's our one for next year. But yeah, let's get everybody onto the Egypt one first. Fabulous. Okay. Fantastic. So is there anything that you want to leave for our viewers at the moment? Any sort of tips, anything, anything that you want to say going forward to encourage women, especially, and some fathers who are, maybe looking after their children in certain circumstances. They're looking after their children at home and they're running a business as well. Is there any maybe 2 or 3 tips that you want to give them in terms of encouragement?
Just to take a few excerpts from my speech coming up in a couple of weeks here in Arizona, I would just offer, really, number one, be your own sanctuary, like in a healthy way. Don't look for answers outside of yourself, because you have the wisdom if you just take the pause and meditate on, what is really, truly important in the moment. And stay present. Number 2 is your body is your sanctuary also, right? So your mind, your body is your sanctuary. So don't abuse it. And if you're feeling, aches and pains, pay attention to that. That is your body's alarm system saying, hello, mom, hello, dad, you're not taking care of me. And, you're having these
signals, perhaps.
And the last thing is, of course, love yourself, right? Like I said before, don't start any day without taking at least 60 seconds. And it may seem like a really long time at first. And just, love yourself up. Look at yourself in the mirror in all your glory, without the makeup, without the beautiful hair, without the
that extension,
like with that suit on, and just say you are one amazing person, and I'm so happy and grateful for you being you, because our children are watching, and our clients are watching, and you're going to exude what you put inside of yourself.
That's so beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So at the end of the day, it's you are your sanctuary. You have the answers. Your body speaks to you, and you are beautiful. Just tell yourself you're beautiful. That's incredible. That's amazing, because this is what this Be You interview is all about, is how you come to be being you in your business and doing things your way. And you just sort of taking it to another level of coming from the inside out, of being you in your business, in your life, in your work, for your family, for your children, and for the world. So that's amazing. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, because it's like, this is like rubbing your head and tapping your head and rubbing your belly at the same time, because I'm trying to ask the questions and I'm trying to put these things up on the screen, and I'm trying to look for people who want to come and join us, and I'm trying to look for comments. So it's like, you know, each time I do one of these, it gets better and better. I'm getting more and more practice at this. So if I hide that bit, and then I can and then I can put up what can I put? Okay, there were some bits and pieces that I missed on this. So this has been the Live Authentic. Can I put that here? The Live Authentic, Learn, Laugh, Live, Love, and Be You, Being You interview with Cordelia Gaffar, and her beautiful wisdom that she's brought to the table to say, hey, you know what? Being you is perfect. Looking after your children and looking after them yourself is perfect. Connecting with the world and sharing your gifts as you is just a perfect way of being as well. And Cordelia, thank you so much. I'm really, really honored that you've given me your time on this segment, and you're just such a beautiful soul, a perfect example of being calm in the chaos of this world. So thanks very much for being on my show.
Thank you, Jennifer. I really enjoyed it. I so appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you too. Bless you. See you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.